Today, we are going to be looking at the number one asked question: who is the NFL MVP? The two quarterbacks face off this weekend in the divisional round. Let's just say everyone's going to be tuned into this game. This is the game of the week, potentially the game of the year. So let's start by looking at stats, right? Because of course, the MVP award is not a stats-based award. It is who is the most valuable player, who means the most to their team, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But let's look at the stats first things first. Passing attempts, Allen does have more, 483 to 474. Passing percentage, Lamar beat him by a little bit, 66.7% to 63.6%. Then we go to total yards in the air. And this is where Lamar takes that step if we're just looking at stats. 4,172 yards to only 3,731 yards for Allen. So that's a good, one game difference there. And again, you look at, Josh Allen didn't play that last game. So again, keep that in mind. And, Lamar, he did have to play in that last game because he did get the Bills, or he didn't get his team to clinch a playoff spot until the very end. They're still fighting for their division. But again, we'll talk about all that stuff later. We're just looking at stats now. Next thing, let's look at passing touchdowns. Lamar 41 to Josh Allen's 28. So far, it looks like Lamar is a runaway if this award was just based on stats. Interceptions, Lamar had 4, Allen had 6. Pretty close there. I'm not going to say one way or the other. Then we go to rushing. Both these quarterbacks had monster years on the ground as well. Allen with 531 yards, Lamar with 915, so almost doubled them there. Yards per attempt, Lamar 6.6, Allen 5.2, so Lamar still carrying the boat here. But now let's shift to rushing touchdowns. Josh Allen with 12, Lamar only with 4. So that is a massive difference there. So that could kind of even things up a little bit in the rushing category. Again, a lot of Josh Allen's rushing touchdowns are those QB sneaks from the 2-yard line and in. So take that for how you want. Of course, some people say, that doesn't really count. Some people will count those because, again, you put Lamar in those situations. I don't know if he's sneaking it up the middle for 2 yards on a QB sneak just because of his sheer body mass and, kind of physique there. Then we go into some of the, kind of the nitty-gritty stats here. Fantasy points, Lamar crushed Allen again, 434 to 385. We look at snaps. Lamar had more snaps. Lamar had more snaps per game, which, again, maybe some people say that's in favor of Allen because Allen did get taken out of many games this year because the Bills were just running up the score and Mitch Trubisky came in to do a drive or two. So, again, those are the stats. If this was a stats-based award, I would 100% give it to Lamar. Now let's shift over to what the true MVP really means. It is who is the best player for their team, who is the most valuable guy in the league. And looking at that, it gets a little more even than what we looked at with the stats. First things first, Josh Allen. Again, he got the Bills to the 2 seed in the AFC. Meanwhile, Lamar, it took a little bit longer, but they did work their way up and win the AFC North. The Bills, they did go on and beat the 2 quote-unquote undefeated teams. I know the Lions had 1 loss at the time, but they were pretty much going crazy, and the Chiefs were undefeated at the time. The Bills beat both of them. Meanwhile, the Ravens had losses to the Raiders earlier on in the year. They've had some rough losses. So if you look at, who beat who, you could say that the Bills had a better year, and statistically, the Bills might not have had a better year, but in the standings, they 100% did. They finished with the higher seed, and that is the reason they are the home team this weekend. So it is a really tough thing to look at. Again, people bring up voter fatigue. Lamar, already a 2-time MVP, going back to, the last time Lamar won it, a lot of people said it should have been Josh Allen. If you looked at the stats, Allen beat him in every category or almost every category. But as a true MVP, as a true, guy, you take him off the team and, put someone else there. They gave it to Lamar because of that situation. I think it's completely reversed this year. Lamar kills Allen in a majority of the stats, but you take Lamar off of the Ravens and give them another mobile quarterback. I think that Ravens team still makes the playoffs. Probably, maybe they don't win the division, but they still make the playoffs. You put Mitch Trubisky or Mike White on this Bills team right now, I don't think they're sniffing the playoffs. So I think that's what it comes down to with the MVP award. If I had a vote, of course, I've watched more Bills games than Ravens games. I try to watch, every game. I try to watch highlights when the Bills aren't playing. I'm trying to watch, red zone and, 4 screens open at once. So I have watched a fair share of Ravens games. And don't get me wrong, Lamar Jackson is a true one of one. I don't know if we've seen something like him His passing just continues to improve year after year. I know when he first came into the league, everyone said, oh, this guy's just a running back playing quarterback. That could not be further from the truth. He has a good arm, he is accurate, and he makes the smart throws, which I think has, drastically improved throughout the years. I think he's got a lot smarter in the pocket. He knows when to dump it. He knows when he has to be that magician to spin out of 3 tackles and, find the open guy in the slot or, a couple yards down the field. But some of the things I see Josh Allen do with his arm just exceed that. I don't know. I'd have to give my vote for Josh Allen this year as the MVP. Do I think it's going to be Josh Allen? But probably not. I think they might just give it to Lamar because the stats did kind of start to outweigh it even more than they thought it was going to towards the end of the year. Of course, Josh Allen didn't play the last game, and the last couple of games of the season, Allen didn't look as good. If we're going to take playoffs into account, I think they both look very solid in the wild card round. The last point I want to make is for a fan, for an analyst, for someone like me, I do not care about the MVP award at all. I think the true MVP will lead their team to a win this weekend. So, again, if Lamar wins this game and Allen gets MVP, it's all for nothing. If Allen wins this game and Lamar gets MVP, it's all for nothing. That's how I view the situation. The true MVP gets the job done this weekend. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Again, both these QBs are so good in unique ways. So I can see, both cases on who you would give the MVP award to. I'm not going to sit here and say it's 100% one guy or the other. I can see both ways. I know some super fans for both teams are going at it saying there's no way, but I can see it both ways. Let me know in the comment section below. Leave a like on this video, subscribe, and have a good one. Peace out.